Our sponsors: The Finkley Experience, an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education, in which prepares high school students for college. For more information, visit their website at thefinkleyexperience.com. Father to Father Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that strengthens families through father engagement, with a goal to help men in our communities to be great dads. For more information, visit their website, fathertofatherinc.org. ABLAZE Entertainment. The goal of ABLAZE is to take emerging artists and develop them to the next level of their career. For more information, visit their website at ablazeentertainment.net. Thank you.
There's a new familiar face this time. Say hello to the new daytime. See it everywhere you go. New and the greatest show. It's no other than the Michael Finkley Show. There is no other. He's like no other. I'm so glad that someone resonates with me. Come celebrate with me. Let's tune into Michael.
Everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. We're on location in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I had to come for this amazing person to be on. This has been an interview for the longest, but take a look at his background story. Hey, Fink fam. So, y'all, I am in Fayetteville, North Carolina with JT Hustle, and yo, he has a whole media house right behind me. JT, where are you? There he is.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Appreciate you for coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you gonna give us a tour?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, come on, Fink fam.
All right, you guys, so this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. All we do here is create content. So write books, social media like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. Writing our first short film. Everything's gonna be produced here, right? So that's all this house is for. Come inside, see what it looks like. So everything works just like a normal house. A lot of junk everywhere. So TVs, studios, come on into the living room. So that's the kitchen, dining room area, transitions into the living room. You guys see these are just some of the lights that we have. We got more lights, more mics, everything like that. We do most of the content here. So I can either turn the lights around, sit here, have the brick background, or we can sit down on the couches like it's set up now and do a lot of content just on the couch talking like that. So
what happens here?
Streaming. So this is set up for live streaming. This is a little stand that you can set your laptop on as well. We're going to start doing daily live streams from this 2-monitor setup. So got a couple of webcams, more lights, because anybody that creates content knows how important lighting is, right? So, and as you guys probably noticed, this is just based off of your voice. It'll keep on fluctuating. So yeah, this is the little streaming area, and the house is going to be dirty because we actually work out of here, right? So stream deck here. For those of you that are in the streaming, you know what that is. So basically, while you're on stream, you can mash a button, and whatever you want to be on the screen will be on the screen. If for whatever reason you didn't want to do that, they have a foot pedal here, so I can just mash the foot pedal. Whatever I want to be on the screen will come up on the screen. And like I said, 2 cameras, lights, mics, everything is here, so you can do whatever it is you want to do, right? So I don't really stream gaming, but what I have noticed is that streaming computers are just the best computers, right? Well, gaming computers that people use for streaming are just the best.
So you sleeping here too?
Like, man, well, my team is crashing here. All right, so my team is crashing. So anybody that comes out of town that needs a place to record, because I work with other content creators that's like in Atlanta, in Tennessee, wherever. So instead of them having to rent an Airbnb, you can just come stay here. So 2 of the bedrooms are set up for people to come in and just sleep, but you can come on in. But also, if we need to film here, hey, it's free game. So functioning, basic little room, TV here. The TV works. All right, so everything like a normal house would have. I use this storage closet for audio equipment. So all of those lights and things that you've seen in the living room, normally when we clean up for the day, we store everything here. These outfits are, like I said, we're doing short film entertainment content. So we got clothes that are here. We got wigs for characters, dress dresses, you know, whole 9 yards for the actors that come in here as well, right? That's just a normal bathroom. Go ahead.
So what you're telling me is that when I'm back in town, that I can stay here.
100%.
So that's what you.
100%. You guys heard it here.
All right. Okay.
Anytime you want to come and stay, you do a whole season. Season 10.
Don't tempt me.
Here too for anybody that's in the content creation is if they can see the floor. So carpet, normally if I was gonna live in a house, I don't want carpet. I got a 5-year-old daughter. But because of the sound, how important sound quality is, this actually works. And it's a small house. I think the house is only like 1,300 square feet. So it's a small house. It gets the job done, right? It wasn't expensive at all. 3-2, but only 2 of the bedrooms are set up for people to crash in. So this is a podcasting room. So I never seen, and you got to do this on camera, Mike, man. Kick your shoes off and sit right here, man.
What?
Master, we gonna get his honest first impression.
We're gonna take these good old shoes off.
Yeah.
Can I fit? You know I'm a biggin.
Come on, man. Get in there.
No, I'm a biggin.
All right,
okay.
Get him. And match the red button.
Okay, this button.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we're excited. We're excited, Think Fam. All right. I was not expecting that.
I've never seen anybody podcast from a massage chair. So that being said, I said I wanted to stand out. I want to be different. So this is my podcasting room. Also, if other people came and wanted to podcast, we got mics, we got screens, we got cameras. This umbrella looking thing here is, believe it or not, is just another light. So we could cut it on. We can address the degree of lighting that we wanted it to be just by manipulating this knob. This sign right here, this is just for my podcast. Let's say somebody wanted to come and they had their own sign. I can move it out the way. They can put their own sign up. That's why it's not really hanging on the wall. It's just sitting on a little table. And hey, the Income Autopilot podcast, the show that teaches you to stop working and enjoy life while money works for you. So that's what this room is for. Media, believe it or not, I want to encourage everybody that watches this. Media controls how people think. So if you watch the Weather Channel, it determines how you dress. If you watch just the regular news, they might make you think that Chicago is a terrible place to visit. I've never been, but I've met people over the years that say, hey, Chicago's like everywhere else. Certain places are nice, certain places you don't need to be there if you're not from there, right? So in the media will also tell you that Hawaii is great, right? I know some people that went to Hawaii and love it. I know some people in Hawaii that say the cost of living is overpriced, and if you're not a tourist, the living ain't really that great. All right, so media though will control how you think. So what I want to do with the media house is create media that inspires people either through educational or entertainment content that lets them know that, hey, you can be an entrepreneur, right? You can be wealthy, you can have whatever it is, just keep God first and do the work. All right.
Getting out of this chair. I ain't taking this back to South Carolina with me. But Think Fam, the interview that you've been waiting for, JT Hustles, back in a moment.
Right.
Hey, this is Nelson Estevez, aka Alonzo from Tyler Perry's The Oval, and you're now watching the Michael Finkley Show.
Hey Think Fam, let's talk about love. We have award-winning artists with us and talk show hosts that share holds with us as he talks about his amazing platform and the reason why he loves his passion so much. Next, Finkley. So you heard who he is. He's none other than the major mogul influencer when it comes down to entrepreneurship and effectively helping others with their business. He's no other than JT Hustles. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on the show, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long time, bro.
Absolutely.
Because you.
Definitely not.
It's because of him, Think Fam. It's because of him.
After watching this interview, I want y'all to know how to get to the money. All right, that's the promise that we making in this interview. So watch the whole interview.
Right. So let's go back.
All right.
Right. Let's go all the way back. Because Fink fan, what you don't know is that I've been knowing this dude for
decades.
Yeah, it's been some decades. Because we're from the same area. You know, I'm from Mullins, South Carolina.
Yep.
From the same area. From your point of view, growing up in Mullins, what was that like for you?
Well, I really enjoyed Mullins. Of course, most people from Mullins come from low-income environments. So definitely not having a lot of money. My mom told me she never made more than $11 an hour. And it was 6 mouths to feed, right? I think it was 6. 2 sisters, 2 brothers, my mama, my grandma, and me. That's 7 mouths plus the household income. Yep. Single mom. 7 mouths to feed and pay the household bill. So I cheated my way through math. Not that smart at all. But I can tell you that 11 divided by 7 is not a whole lot of money. Especially after you pay, you know, the mortgage, utilities, all the bills you got to pay, and then got to take care of everybody. So we didn't have a lot of money. But we was raised in the church, so she kept us in the church all the time. And like, you know, you meet good people along the way. So I had a lot of friends, and what you really don't know growing up as a kid is that if you poor, everybody else around you poor. It just seemed normal. So it wasn't actually until I left and went to the Marine Corps and realized, oh, you was really poor. Like, not everybody eat by eating the sausages for breakfast every morning.
But they were good though.
Yeah.
They were good though, with light bread and some grits.
Yeah.
So when did that mind shift change for you from going to poor to I can own some things?
Oh, going into the Marine Corps. So I tell people all the time that the Marine Corps is the best thing that ever happened to me. So I was getting into trouble here and there. My mom actually kicked me out like my senior year of high school. Just because, you know, I was just tired of being poor, acting out, regular teenage stuff. And I actually wanted to go into the reserves of the Marine Corps so that way I could stay in the hometown and keep running with my friends. And my mom asked me where I was going to stay. So that let me know then that I couldn't go be a reservist. I had to go do active duty. So joined active duty. They stationed me in Okinawa, Japan. And as you guys could tell that, hey, I'm a certain complexion. So when I got there, the Haitians thought I was Haitian. And I was like, I don't know nobody here. I'm going to be friends with whoever want to be friends with me. So when they was like, you Haitian? I was like, yeah. So I started running with Haitians just so I could have some friends as soon as I got to Japan that was in the Marines with me. And what I noticed about them is that they walked around with like wads of cash in their pockets. And I was like, why you take out they didn't have a lot of money. What it was is they would take out their whole check and just walk around in their pockets. And I was like, why you do that? You're not worried about nobody robbing you or nothing like that? Because that's how we was raised. And they was like, man, I'm retraining myself. And that's the first time I heard about unlearning and relearning. So what they were saying is growing up in Haiti and then moving to Florida, and they actually getting their citizenship by joining the military. They grew up in extreme poverty where, you know how we had school shoes and play shoes, right? They said they had school shoes and then no shoes. So after school, you outside barefoot playing soccer. And it was normal in the community that they was in. So they were saying that they understand that there is no shortage of money, and they're unlearning and relearning that money comes to them quickly, frequently, and in abundance, as my friend Sawan would say. So they were just walking around with money just to get this mentality of, I can have money every single day. And as crazy as that sounds as an exercise, I tell people all the time now that money will manifest itself in your mind way before it hits your pockets. For example, if I tell you that, hey, Mike, I went to your house, I buried $1 million in the backyard. If you believe me, you'll go get a shovel and just start digging. But if you don't believe me, you're like, I'm not even in a rush to get home. Like, I don't believe it's there. So the same thing when it comes to all financial literacy, low-income environments condition us that, hey, I got mine, you need to get yours, meaning that you go get a degree and then you stop learning. But highly successful people, they never stop learning. So to answer your question, because I'm naturally a talker, it was the Marine Corps. Being around people that came from environments that were worse than mine. And that's the first time I seen a black man that was rich. So it was a sergeant of mine, and his dad was a part of an investment group. I ain't even knew what it was, but they owned McDonald's. So they went out and bought McDonald's franchises. And this guy was in Japan with the Harley Davidson pickup trucks. They was new at the time, but he had a brand new Harley Davidson pickup truck, multi-millionaire. He was in the military because he loved the military. So I was like, man, coming where we from, you think that in order to have money or a big nice truck like that, you got to know some white people or be white yourself. So really being exposed to wealth not being a color thing, but a financial literacy thing. I learned that in the Marine Corps. My commanding officer introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Dave Ramsey. He had a book out that I had to read. And what he did was he said that anybody that reads this book, it was called A Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. If you read this book and do a book report, I'll give you a day off. I didn't really care about the book. I just wanted a day off. So I read the book, but actually learned some stuff and enjoyed learning it. And he gave me a day off. And that was my first exposure to changing my mind. So shout out to the Marine Corps.
Dang, what a journey. And that's a journey, because sometimes when we're so stuck in one way of living, we stick with that and we don't want to grow, we don't want to learn. But you decided to do that for you, not only for you, but for your future. So when did it pop off for you? You know, when that next, you know, entrepreneur spirit idea come from to get you where you are today?
All right. So I knew I didn't want to work another job after the military. However, I didn't know anything about how to be an entrepreneur. So while I was still in, I originally thought I wanted to open a Boost Mobile store. I got a Boost Mobile phone. You guys can go and clown me in the comment section. But I always had a Boost Mobile, and I would go there and pay my bills. And talking to guys, they were saying how much money they made with a Boost Mobile store. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get out and I'm going to open up a Boost Mobile store. So I got the contract from Sprint, because at least at the time, I don't know who owned it now, but Sprint owned Boost Mobile, and you had to fill out this paperwork. And at the time, you needed like 30 or 40 grand. And I said, man, like, I got to go work a job, save 30 to 40 grand, and then start my Boost Mobile store. But that was my initial thought. So I got out, I went to college, I went to Charleston Southern University. Well, taking it a step back, I got my undergrad, my associate's degree while I was still in the Marine Corps from the University of Maryland. They were sending professors over to Japan that would teach the Marines at night school. So I took night classes, and I got my associate's degree from the University of Maryland. UMUC. Then when I got out, I moved to Charleston Southern. I moved to Charleston, South Carolina, went to Charleston Southern for 2 years and got my bachelor's degree. And then I thought I wanted to be an attorney. Not really. Like, I really wanted to be a judge. But I felt like you got to be an attorney before you can be a judge, because somebody told me judges make a lot of money. I failed the LSAT, could not get in at all. So I said, you know what? Well, I know I could go back to the University of Maryland. I had an uncle in Baltimore, so I went up to Maryland to do that. And now I'm working again, saying that I need to save up money so I can eventually have a Boost Mobile store or start some kind of business. My uncle, who was a truck driver, still is a truck driver, was telling me about how much money he has and how much time freedom he has as a truck driver. And I wanted to get into trucking. But he was saying, hey, don't get into trucking right now. The loads don't pay that much. They're not treating new drivers that well. He was in it 30 plus years. So, of course, he had his own truck and he had more leverage than I would have had. So I said, well, okay, let me do a cleaning service. So I bought a cargo van. My first business, legitimate business, was going to be a cleaning service. I hired two ladies, a lady and her daughter, Spanish people, and they backed out on me at the last minute. I don't know about you, but my motivation is if I spend money for something, that's how I get motivated, right? Certain people is just like, oh, I don't got to spend any money, I'm self-motivated. But to me, like, now we're in my media house because the 150 grand this house costs, like, I want that money back, right? Because my credit is terrible, so I bought a cash. So it's like, and we can talk more about that here in a second. So anyway, though, cleaning service was the idea. I bought the cargo van. They backed out on me at the last minute. I said, what can I do to make money with a cargo van? Started researching, found out you could become an independent courier. So I put 2 weeks in on my job and said in 2 weeks I'm going to become an independent courier. Here's why I wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? Because yes, being in the Marine Corps let me know that I don't really want nobody yelling at me or bossing me around, having this much control over my life. But bigger than that, and what gave me the motivation to stay an entrepreneur from 2014 till now is the fact that by the grace of God, and I hope everybody that watches this interview has longevity and prosperity, one day, Lord willing, we'll get old. And once we get old, I don't want to have any regrets. I'm okay with becoming an old man in a nursing home, nobody coming to visit me. But in my heart, I know I tried to do everything I could to fulfill my God-given purpose and serve as many people as possible. right? I will feel better in that position than if I grow old, I'm in my own house, I got family all around me, but I got regret, right? I know so many older people that just have the regret of what if I would have tried. I did the math. I became an entrepreneur at 24. Yep. At that time, which I know is different now, at that time, retirement age was 65. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, I can go from 24 to 30 and try everything that I think of as an entrepreneur. If I fall on my face for 6 years, this is the level of dedication and the level of foolery that I had, right? Because I didn't know anything about anything. I said, I can be wrong for the next 6 years, scratch every itch that I have, and then from 30 to 65 is 35 years. I'm sure I could find a job at a plant, at Walmart. Somebody will hire me. Mm-hmm. I could work 35 years, and at the age of 65, I'll be at the same level as a lot of my peers. 65, retired, Social Security, retirement, whatever you have up until that point. The only difference between me and my peers that graduated high school with me would be that I could say I don't have any regrets. So I challenge everybody that watches this video, listens to this, however you consume it, to really ask yourself, it doesn't matter if you're 24, 44, or 54, or even older than that, at the end of your life, when God is ready to call you home, would you rather play it safe and have the regret of what if I would have tried and what if I would have kept trying when it got rough, or the comfort in knowing that I played it safe my entire life? And only you can answer that question. But for me, I feel like that we were all born with a purpose. Mm-hmm. Your job is to decide what that purpose is and then pursue that purpose. And if you struggle to know what your purpose is to serve other people, however you do it. I do it through content creation. You can do it through real estate. You can do it through food, right? You can do it through selling shirts. But whatever your purpose is going to always be back to serving people, bringing them to, the awareness and glory of God. Got to say that. People might unsubscribe because I love God, but you can edit that out.
We keeping that. Yeah, keeping that. This is 2023. Yeah, keeping that. But more with JT Hustlez back in a moment.
Comedian Eric Escobar, the Mexipino millennial, and you are watching Gold right now. You know why? Because you're watching The Michael Finkley Show. Stay tuned.
Hey, did you get your merch yet? Your Michael Finkley merch. Visit our website, michaelfinkleyshow.com, and click Finkley Store. You won't be disappointed, I'm telling you. That's good. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. It's Finkley from the Finkley Experience. We're an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. So we assist students with their college and career endeavors. We train school administrators on the state of first-generation students. And also, we partner with colleges and universities to assist their first-generation population for easy transition from high school to college. So if you're looking for a presenter or a speaker that presents on these topics and so much more, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com and learn about all that we do. We're looking forward to working with you. With my good friend JT Hustlez, as he's talking about his amazing experience and journey and entrepreneurship. Now, you said something earlier about your credit. Yep. Credit sucks, but you have so much. Explain that.
So early on, and for you out there, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work on your credit. It is something that I'm actively pursuing now. For my daughter, though, more so than me. So early on in my entrepreneurial journey, first off, I was one of those people that say, I know it all. Like, I'm not going to buy no course, no training, no books, no nothing. I felt like those men and women, if they really knew so much, they wouldn't teach me. They just trying to make money off the information. So I went out, I saved 15 grand on my last job and went broke and homeless. And then I realized, okay, I need those people that are selling those books and training programs and consultations because I went broke due to common sense. All right, I tell people all the time that common sense is not a universal philosophy. Common sense is just a culmination of your experiences from the time that you were born to the age you are now. So common sense for somebody that watches this video is if you walk into work tomorrow and you get fired, you go file for unemployment, you start looking for other jobs, right? Common sense for Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk kids, things like that. If they go broke, it is, okay, what relationships do I have, or what business deal can I strike up so that way I can generate some revenue based off of my name, my brand, stuff like that, right? If I go broke, my thing is I understand that making money is just a value exchange. So I ask myself, what can I do to create value and exchange my value for money so I got the money to take care of my daughter and etc. So going back to the question, having bad credit for me was early on, my initial mentors, which were my uncles, they told me that credit was for big stuff. Credit was for, you know, you buy your house and then now your house need repairs. So the way that I was taught to be an entrepreneur was you start at whatever level you can start at. You always live below your means. And as you become a better entrepreneur, you can make more money. You will either make more money because you will have more customers, or you will make more money because you can increase your prices as your brand increases and now your margins are better, right? You remember when McDonald's used to have a $1 menu?
Yep.
Now you go ask for a McDouble, it's like $2.50. So they have more customers. So yes, they make more money that way, but they also make more money because of their brand is so big. Now it doesn't have to be $1. It can be $2.50. So if we was profitable at $1, of course we're profitable at $2.50, and it's the same product, but the brand is bigger. So that's how I was taught about entrepreneurship. So early on, I didn't use my credit for business. Of course, I made mistakes like some young people, and we'll give you a discount if you get this credit card and do this and do that.
We all fell for that.
Yeah, so doing young and dumb stuff while I was in the service prior to this point got my credit less than optimal. But what really motivated me was when my uncles telling me that use credit when you want to grow faster. One big mistake that I find a lot of new entrepreneurs make is that they want to start a business with credit before they know how to sell anything. So you know how to get the money initially, but you don't know how to get the money with interest to pay it back. So the way that I teach and the way that I recommend that people learn is first learn how to sell. All right. I'm one of those people that think I can teach anybody in the world how to sell. All right. But I recommend that you learn how to sell first, and then you grow a business through sales. Let's say small business 1 year, you can only make $40,000 a year selling. All right. But you say, okay, if I had a bigger inventory, already know my market, already am servicing them well. If I had the credit to get a bigger inventory and to do a bigger marketing campaign, I might can make $60,000, $80,000, $100,000. Okay, then I can see you getting credit once you already have a proof of concept. So I honestly ignored my credit for many years, and I focused on how could I sell more, how could I give more value, build a bigger brand, increase my prices that way, and got to the point where I got a philosophy I want to share with your audience that watch this long too. So I call it the one God theory. What that means is that, I don't know your personal financial situation, is none of my business. I don't know you all's personal financial situation, is none of my business. But I know this though. I know that the same God in heaven that gave you breath this morning, gave you breath, gave me breath, right? It's all the same God. So if the God in heaven that woke up Tyler Perry in his mansion and woke up me in my house, you in your house, the viewer in your house apartment, or even if you homeless like I was, he woke you up in your car this morning or in the shelter. If the same God in heaven will allow us to get to this level, he'll allow you to get to your level. All right, so there is no favoritism in my opinion. What it is though is that your starting point and your journey is different than mine because your purpose is different, right? Jeff Bezos started where he started, and his journey was his journey because part of his purpose was to create Amazon. All right, maybe your purpose is not to create an Amazon. Maybe your purpose is to help people in a different way. So God put you where he needed you to be. You went through the experiences you went through, good or bad, and you are where you are now because that's all part of your journey. If I didn't come from Mullins and grew up under a single mom that didn't have a lot of money, if I never went broke and homeless, then I would struggle creating content to empathize with men and women that are low income so that they can make 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures as entrepreneurs, right? If all I knew was money, I don't understand why don't your dad just give you $1 million and then you just do this with it? Because me and everybody I know will just go ask dad for $1 million, right?
Donald Trump.
Yeah, yeah. So understanding that that's my philosophy. So going through life with this concept of if I want more, right, I might not have the same journey as you. You might not have the same journey as me. But what we do know is that I don't serve a God that only serves me. Right? He serves you, he serves the viewer, he serves whoever will keep him first. So you can say, okay, I tell everybody that follows me, I want to be the floor and not the ceiling. Yeah. All right. So if I can make $1 million, I want you to know that you can make at least $1 million. Right? And then you can go out and make 10, 15, $20 million. So that's my philosophy. So my credit is bad because I never concentrated on credit until now. I'm more focused on brand. I'm more focused on how can I serve the most people the greatest value. And I took it personally. Years ago while I was homeless in my cargo van, I was listening to a guy called Gary Vee. Never met the man personally, but just in a YouTube video, I was listening to everybody on YouTube trying to figure out how to make some money, right? And I was barely making ends meet. And somebody asked him a question at a conference and he uploaded on his channel. And they said, how important was credit? And in a kind of arrogant way, he said, well, I guess if you're not as good at making money as me, then yeah, you need credit. But I'm so good that I can raise $70,000 in a week. And I took it personal because I was like, respectfully, but I'm going to just tell you how I felt at the moment. Like, man, this white boy not better than me. Like, you know, I don't know how to make 70 grand a week, but I also feel like he ain't better than me. Right. So I took it personal and was like, you know what? I'm going to try to learn whatever it is that he knows, have whatever relationships that he has, so that eventually I can say if I needed X amount of money, I can get X amount of money as well.
Wow. Yep. So that just changes my whole perspective because again, we're taught credit, but you have flipped the script and it's working for you. You mentioned also too about helping others and you have an amazing platform, the thousands and thousands of followers, the many books that you have written.
We got 30 books and counting.
And that's amazing. When did you start seeing the success?
My very first book made $1,000 a month and it's grown since then. But my first book made more money than what my rent and utilities was at the time. And that's when I knew, like, okay, I'm a writer. All right, so I'm gonna start writing more and more books. So by the grace of God, my very first book. Here's the key, right? Because I told you guys this is gonna be the episode that's gonna help you make more money. So first, let me tell you how anybody can sell anything, right? So people already have whatever problems they have before they even know you, your business, your brand, your whatever, right? People already have what solution they want, all right? Your job as an entrepreneur is to position your product or service as being the bridge in between, all right? If you do that to the right people consistently, you'll make however much money you ever want to make. The issue that we have is that we have in our mind, I want to sell birthday cakes because I make beautiful birthday cakes and I want everybody to buy my birthday cakes, right? But that may not be a problem that you have, nor do you might say, I don't care what the cake look like, just give me a cake, like chocolate cake, whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be a fancy, my face is in the cake type of cake, right? So I think that in whatever business you have, whether you're a content creator, whether you sell shirts, whether you sell food, whatever it is you identify who can you help first before you even create the business, right? You got the concept. I want to make content on social media. I want to sell food. I want to sell clothes. I want to sell hair, right? Who ideally would buy that, right? Okay, these sorts of people will buy it. Well, okay, if they would buy it, why would they buy it? Well, they will buy it because it will make them healthier. It will make them more confident. It will make them more money, whatever your product gives them. And then you position your product or service as the middleman, right? So people follow me on social media, not because of my dashing good looks, but because you know that I can teach you different side hustles in different ways that you can make your first 6 figures or more if you want to, right? Of course, depending on your input, it's going to determine what your output is on that, right? So consistently, as long as I position myself in the middle, all right, I'll be fine. Never start a business where your success is predicated on changes people's minds, all right? So, for example, I can say that everybody can benefit from drinking more water, all right? But we all know some people that'll say, man, I want sweet tea, I want a Coke, I want whatever it is that they like to drink. So yes, it's true that if everybody you know started drinking 1.5 gallons water a day, we all probably would be a little bit healthier, right, and more hydrated, and we can go through all the benefits of more water. But if you go to somebody, maybe an old school cat that just love his beer, love his Dr. Pepper, his Coke, his whatever, you're going to waste a lot of time and resources trying to change his mind from drinking whatever he's been drinking for the past 40 years to start drinking water. And all right, and I'm using that as an analogy because I see a lot of entrepreneurs doing that. So whatever it is that you're selling, find out who wants to buy it, why do they want to buy it, and then in your marketing efforts, your job is to just show them, I'm not trying to convince you to buy my product or service. You said that you're broke and you want to make money. I just want to show you that I'm the bridge. Right? Or, hey, you say that you think you would look better if you had your hair done for your birthday. I sell the weave that'll make you look, you know what I mean? It'll be a hot girl summer, winter, spring, fall. All right? So that's all their job is with the marketing. All right? So that's my spiel on sales. I wanted to give that. I felt like I really felt successful my 3rd year into social media, right? My first year I only got like 22,000 followers. My 2nd year only got 50,000. I went from 22 to 50,000, so another 28,000. My 3rd year I crossed over 100,000, and that's when I started seeing like 20 grand a week coming in. And I took me and some of my buddies to New Orleans. We rented out an apartment about a week, and at that point, that's when I really felt like, okay. What really hit me though is when I got back home, I had more money than when I left. So normally you go on a vacation, you say I'm gonna spend X amount of dollars, you come back with that much less. So when I went on vacation and came back and had more money after my vacation than before my vacation, I felt like, okay, this is it, right? And that's when I locked in and said, you know, I'm gonna do media for the rest of my life.
That is crazy. I want to do that.
You can do
go
it.
on vacation and come back with more money than I spent.
100% you can.
Wow. So with all the success that you've had, millions of people that you've helped with your books and your speaking and you're active on social media, do you think it's changed you?
I honestly, 100%, yeah. Like, I think it changed me, and I think anybody out there that wants to be successful should commit to changing, right? The reason why is because if you're a poor person, and you're poor for a reason, right? Now, of course, we can say as a kid, you can't choose your parents or your grandparents, whoever raised you, right? But then if you're an adult and you're still poor because you're operating based off of the truths that as you know them from the environment that you came from, in order to be wealthy, you're going to have to change. All right, so there was a time that I thought it was really cool to just go walk down the street and play basketball all day. Well, I'm not tall enough to go to the NBA. So me walking down the street to go play basketball, while it would be good for, you know, health benefits and etc., it's not really going to help me like create personal wealth, generational wealth, things of that nature as well. So yeah, you 100% got to change. I even tell people I'm not really big on cutting people off, but you know if somebody is malicious, like let's say your goal is I want to save $10,000 or $5,000, whatever your situation is. If you got people around you that as soon as you save $3,000, they say, hey, Mike, you remember that time you needed $20 to go to work and I gave it to you? Well, can you cash at me $100? Because I heard you've been saving your money good. Now you got $3,000, right? And these people are, you know, they're not really on your team, right? I'm not saying that you don't pay it forward, but my thing is this, is that you got to get comfortable with people being mad at you. You got to get comfortable with people telling you no. And 100%, if you're going to be successful, you have to change. If you didn't have to change to become successful, you'll be successful now. All right, so it's not a bad thing, right? I don't look at changing as being a bad thing, because if I change and become a better person, then I can go back and give those other people the opportunity, right? If I stay on your level, I'm going to never get to a space where I can give you a real opportunity, right? Every time I get halfway up, I give all my money out because y'all guilt trip me, y'all make me feel bad about this and that. Now I'm back broke. And you don't know what to do with the money, so you back broke, right? You thought you was doing right, but there's a lack of financial literacy. And this is specifically for those of us like myself that come from low-income environments. So 100%, you have to change, but change doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? Growth, right? So that's how I look at it, all right?
And with all that you've done, you've been also recognized by different states, associations. Talk about this proclamation.
Oh yeah. I got a proclamation from the city of Chattanooga. What we did was they wanted me to come speak to the boys. They was letting me know that one of the major things that have changed, at least in their school system, was that a lot of the kids, the number one thing is still graduate, go to college. But second to that is it's a large number of kids that they want to be streamers, YouTubers, Twitch, you name it, right? These are opportunities that you could create a real career for yourself and make however much money you want to make. There's people that make hundreds of millions of dollars off of social media doing that. So kids are hip to that. They're on their phone. They know that. And now they wanted me to come into the school system and talk at a boys summit. And I asked them some questions. I was like, okay, tell me about it. And they've been doing this for forever. And I'm like, okay, what's the impact you want to have? Right? And they told me, hey, we don't want these kids to join gangs. We don't want these kids to, just get in the street life at all. So what I wanted to do is not just come talk, because there's no shortage of people that can talk to you, right? You can find a bum on the street and say what to do to be successful, and if he just tell you everything he did in his life, that's everything not to do. All right, so that's a start. So what I found out just by asking the right questions to the right people is that a big problem that they had was like the kids were getting into a lot of fights because dad don't fool with them, mom is on drugs. They're like the men and women, because some women are in this situation too, but it was a boys summit. So now there are men based off of their situations, not based off of their age, right? So no control over it. So you're going to school, but the water is cut off at the house. So you got a little older. So kids being kids, they gonna clown you. Maybe you let the first couple slide. After that, you start throwing fists. All right. So now they getting into fights. After so many fights, you get suspended. Right now, you're on track to be an unsuccessful person. Same thing with your shoes. Right. Your parents don't have the money to get you school shoes. Those was two of the big things. I said, well, I'm not going to pay the water bill for all of these kids, but we can get them some shoes. So I went to Athlete's Foot in Atlanta, and we bought school shoes for all of the boys that needed school shoes, so that they can have school shoes that year. All right. So and we pay retail price. So if anybody here owns a shoe store and wants to give me a team discount or anything next time, right, we'll definitely appreciate it.
All right, Fink fam, you heard it here. Coming up, JT Hustle tells us how to get to the bag in 2023. Back in a moment. JT Hustles.
Yes, sir.
How do we get to the bag in 2023?
Hey, I'm Angel Taylor, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show.
Say to me, I'll listen close when you speak to me. I need your love.
Hey Fink fam, it's Michael Finkley here, and you can watch The Michael Finkley Show every Monday on YouTube. Don't you dare forget to subscribe. And welcome back. So, JT Hustles.
Yes, sir.
How do we get to the bag in 2023?
All right. So what I tell people all the time is that there is no one business that anybody and everybody can do that can make a lot of money. But there are some things that I consider to be the foundations of wealth, right? The three foundations of wealth are three things that if we look back before I was born, before our parents, grandparents, everybody was born, people have built wealth and maintained wealth consistently through real estate investing, through stock investing, and through intellectual property investing. That is the manifestation of your ideas into tangible things in the real world that can make you money, right? So we know what stocks are, we know what real estate is, but IP is bigger than just having a business. So you could just have an idea and you can patent that and you can license that out, like the gentleman that partnered with Hasbro for the Super Soaker became a multimillionaire off of that, right? So if you're somebody out there that wants to start making money, the broad answer, and we're going to get more specific with it here, is I want you to really ask yourself, does your idea fall under real estate, stock investing, or intellectual property, right? If you have a business idea, more than likely it's going to be under the intellectual property realm. What I will tell you, if you're somebody that is risk adverse, the safest first business to start or industry to start in is real estate. All right. Real estate has over a 90% success rate as it pertains to entrepreneurship. Because if you can acquire a house, you can sell a house, right? It's going to be worth something as a tangible item, right? With stocks, we know companies prices can go up, can go down. If you're doing stock options, now you need to do technical analysis. If you're going to do a business, you got to have a market. You got to differentiate yourself. So somebody out there that's risk adverse and wants to do something safe, look into real estate. That could be wholesaling. That could be buying rental properties. Let's say you don't have the credit or the money to do that. You can go to the tax sale auctions. That's the most cost-effective way for you to go and get into real estate. My uncle buys property for like $200 in South Carolina. And it's a tax deed, right? That means that there's a redemption period. It's a year in South Carolina right now. Either you're going to get your money back with interest, or you're going to get a tax deed. You're going to get a tax deed. You're going to go to the attorney. The attorney is going to turn it into a warranty deed, quiet the title, whatever it is you got to do for you, right? And I wrote a whole book on it, but just to sum it up, in simplest terms, the way that we do it also is, let's say I go to the auction, Mike goes to the auction. We both want the same house. I only brought $200. Mike bought $2,000. I can't compete with him. Pocket's not deep enough. Mike takes the house. All right, let's say I go up to $200. Mike bids it to $1,000. Well, the county is only entitled to what they were owed, the $200 or whatever they owed in back taxes, right? So the $800 is now an overage. Some counties call it the excess. Some counties call it a surplus. Whatever they call it, it is the rights of the original owner. Lots of times the original owner doesn't know, because by law, all they have to do is send a letter to your last known address. What's your last known address? The house that Mike owns. So if a letter comes in the mail to Mike's new house with your name on it, what is he going to do? Throw it away, more than likely, right? Because he don't know who John Doe is. All right, so it's his house now. This is old mail. This is junk mail. All right, so the county did their part. So even if you didn't have the money to buy the house, you can contact the original owner, because it's all public record. It's free information at the courthouse. And you can either sell them the documents, right? Here's a pro tip. The documents are free. All right, you get the documents for free, you can sell the documents. I know people that make 6 figures a year selling free information, right? But it's not really information, right? Let me give you this nugget. You're not selling information, you're selling time. So can you go to the county website yourself and spend however long it takes, depending on how savvy you are, to find all the documents, put them together, fill them out, and submit them to the right department? Sure you can, right? But you can find people that either don't know how to do it, they don't want to make a mistake, don't have the time to do it, right, whatever it is, and say, I'm selling you the convenience. It's why we go out to eat. All right, the vast majority of people that go out to eat can cook something, right? You can't cook a steak the way that Outback does, but you can make something that you could eat, but you're paying for the convenience. So you could get those documents for free. You're selling them the convenience of having those documents. Or if they want you to do it for them, I know people that have a business where they'll say, well, I'll do it for free, but I'll get a percentage of it. So in that example, let's say $1,000 was the bid. County was only owed $200. This person is owed $800. Well, let's say I can negotiate that. You rather have 50% of something than 100% of nothing. I get the $800. I keep $4. I give you $4. Right? And it's people that build an entire business off of helping businesses and individuals like that. Right? I'm biased to B2B business because I feel like you can work with less people and make more money if you do B2B business. So get into the bag first and foremost if you're risk averse real estate. All right, because that's the safest business out there. All right, me personally, I like media, but I think if you're more of an extrovert, media is great because you can start with a cell phone. You don't need lights, cameras, mics, all the crazy stuff that some content creators have now, like Mike. All right, but you can start with your cell phone, natural light by whatever window you have, and then just start talking about whatever it is. It doesn't have to be financial literacy. It can be about nutrition. It can be about whatever's going on in the world, right? Whatever subject matter you find valuable. And if you do it consistently, you're going to create an evergreen product that's going to pay you over and over and over again, right? So I still get paid for videos I uploaded in 2017. So if you're an extrovert, that's great, right? But I got partners that do a multitude of businesses. So I say that this is the question that when you can answer this question, you'll find out what's the best or perfect business for you, right? So if you ask yourself, if I could do anything to serve other people, regardless of how much money it made, right? Let's imagine you were a trillionaire, so you were no longer working for money, right? You're just doing this because you enjoy doing it. So if I could do anything that would serve other people, regardless of how much money it makes, I would do blank. If you do that, then that is the best first business for you. Not saying that it'll make you the most money, but this is the thing. what you're going to learn in one business is going to be transferable skills that apply to other businesses. So my very first business and my favorite business, because it gave me the disposable income to do everything else, was being an independent courier. Did I make the most money as an independent courier? Absolutely not. What did I learn as an independent courier that can now apply to a 7-figure media company? Well, how do you create an LLC? How do you create a website? How do you open up a business bank account? What's a Duns and Bradstreet number? Why does that even matter? How do you market to people? All right. How do you retain a customer? What's a sales funnel? Why do I need a sales funnel? Right. So you might start off breeding goldfish. All right. Because you really are into the fish trade. And then you eventually expand out to real estate or whatever it is that it is. But I like people to start off with something that you like, because all business is a consistency game, and anybody that tells you otherwise is lying to you. So there's not going to always be months where you make astronomical amounts of money, right? So the least I made in a month is $0. The most I made in a single month is $133,000, right? So that's a huge range. So understanding that on the months where I made 0, I have to bring the same energy like I made 133, because I still need to keep the customer happy. I still need to maintain my product, right, my service, so that way I can eventually get back to that point. All right. So I really want you guys to understand that. Depending on what your budget is, you can start small. Reselling is something that's very inexpensive. You can go to eBay. Before you buy anything to resell online, you can do the research and see when did it sell, how much it's selling for, and how do you properly list that item, right? What I used to do in the early days, eBay changed, but now you just have to be creative with it. Back in the day, you could list items on eBay, sell them, get the money the same day. I could go to Walmart, take pictures of items that were listed on eBay, all right? I could copy and paste a sold listing, because sold listing, if you go into the filter options, sold, it'll tell you every item that's sold. So I can go into Walmart, take pictures of items on the shelf, copy and paste the sold listing, copy and paste the price it's sold for. When it sells, right, that's back when PayPal was working with eBay. I got a PayPal business debit card, right? This item will sell. I immediately have access to that money. Guess what I do? I go to Walmart and buy the item for $7. Well, this was Rose's, is where I used to hit a lick. And I know Rose's, Maxway, it's kind of like a discount store, you know. But you go to Rose's, all right. It was a toy called an Anonymous Rex by Hasbro. If you ever see one, it's at least worth scanning, because eBay will let you scan it to confirm it, right? So the Anonymous Rex was discontinued. Rose's don't price items based off of their resale value. It's a manifest. It comes on a big truck, on a big pallet. They'll say, this is what we paid for this. If you sell these items for around this price, we'll make this much money. I know it because I just asked the worker there. All right. So the toy on Rose's shelf was $7. All right. I just took pictures of them, listed them. They were selling for $60 on eBay every other day. It'll sell for $60. I'll go to Rose's, I will buy it. I will go to Dollar Tree, because Dollar Tree had cheaper envelopes than Rose's, and I would get some bubble wrap, I'll get some tape, and I'll get a number 6 envelope, right? It's a padded envelope that's in Dollar Tree, and I will package that sucker up, drop it off at the post office, all out of my money that I made already. So all in, depending on how much bubble wrap I put on it, let's say I got $20 in. I made $40. All right, so $40 is only a little bit of money to people that don't have any money, because this is how I scaled it up. All right, $40 one time is probably not impressive. You probably make more than that now. But if I can go buy 10 $7 toys from Rose's and turn $40 profit after everything per toy, I made $400 in a day. Net profit after all expenses.
That's crazy.
All right, and scale that up. So as a reseller, I made more money than as an independent courier. All right, so these are things that I feel like if you don't have a lot of money, then you can start off reselling items. All right, but only buy items that you already know are going to sell, and every resale platform allows you to do the research. All right, you just got to not be lazy. So the hustle is always sold separately. Reselling is great. Real estate is great. We already talked about inexpensive ways to do that. Media is great. All right, what else, Mike? Anything. Anything.
And that's a good point, because when we come back, JT is going to tell me, what am I doing wrong when it comes down to my branding, my marketing, social media, etc. Don't go away.
Louisiana girl Denise Boutte coming at you on the Michael Finkley Show. And you guys may know me from Why Did I Get Married as the really sweet girl Trina, or maybe Meet the Browns as Sasha. But I'm coming at you guys from the great state of California, but originally from Louisiana, because you know I can't lose that Southern girl, baby. All right, you guys stay tuned to Michael Finkley.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
So live your life. You steady chasing that big car, just live.
We coming off strong, bro, and I just want to really impact and change lives this season. Like, I'm more focused on growth this season right here. Like, this season, season 6, we want to grow, we want to expand, we want to be better, right? And I know that's every season, but this season right here is specifically for growing. Throw motivation out the window. You know what I'm saying? Forget motivation, forget inspiring. I want to make you better. I want to give you some tips. I want to give you some things that's really going to impact your life, that's going to make your 2023 the best year you ever had, right? So let's start off with this right here. Season 6, baby. You have to know that nobody is better than you out here in this world. You know, we got celebrities, we got people we look at in this awe state, like that we just look at them as a god, and we got to know that we could be just like them. Like, they know better than us. And I remember just the other day I was telling myself, because, you know, I got new things coming up, and I was just like, man, I'm watching people on YouTube for tips, and I'm seeing the lifestyle they live, and I'm like, I can do the same thing they doing. They not doing nothing that I can't do. And when you learn that, bro, you got to put yourself in that same mindset that they not more talented than me. They not smarter than me. They not stronger than me. They not faster than me. Only thing that they have, what I don't have, is my mindset is not up to par to theirs. My mindset is not allowing me to expand as big as I want to, because they have allowed themselves to expand mentally. And when you expand mentally, you get better over time. Your ideas get better. Your perspective get better. You know what I'm saying? Your confidence get better. And in that sense, you have to work on yourself to know that these people are not better. They don't do more than me. They don't have more capability than I do, right? We all have the same opportunity, but I have to just build my mind to go after my opportunities and take full advantage of them. So that's the start right here. I want to start you off right here, baby. Season 6, first episode, right? First thing first, work on our mindset to know that nobody is more powerful. Nobody is better than I am. And I can do that too. Whoever you looking up to, you can do that too. If you just put in the work and you work on your mindset, you can do that too. So remember that going forward, that, hey, when I look at that celebrity, that's my favorite celebrity of all time, they can't do nothing better than me. I just have to work on myself, and I can be in the same position or better position than where I'm at or where they at. So just remember that, baby. Work on yourself and know that you have capabilities. You have power too. You have the ability to be great as well. So remember that season 1, baby, we changing lives. We impacting lives.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Father to Father.
The mission of Father to Father Charleston, South Carolina is to help fathers in the Low Country area of South Carolina to be a positive and consistent presence in their children's lives. Father to Father provides community-based programs and support groups for fathers free of charge. They also help fathers connect to other resources they need so they can meet their responsibilities and secure their parental rights. Father to Father offers job coaching and employment connections that benefit fathers. Father to Father is a resource for local organizations that want to provide family support and father-friendly services. If this program is a fit for you, visit our location in North Charleston, South Carolina, and meet our friendly staff here to help and assist. Or visit our website at fathertofatherinc.org.
Hey Fit Fam, let's talk about love. We have award-winning artists with us and talk show hosts that share holds with us as he talks about his amazing platform and the reason why he loves his passion so much. Next, Finkley. we are back. JT Hustle.
Yes, sir.
You've been watching me for a while with my platform.
Yep.
I've seen your growth, and I know we're not comparing growth here, but you have a lot more, right?
A couple more, yes,
you have
sir.
a couple more.
Yep.
What am I doing incorrectly?
I think it's just a consistency thing. So a lot of people make the mistake of on social media, you will do a really great video, and quality is important, subject matter is important, but early on, what I have found is that the algorithm wants to keep people on the platform for as long as possible. So in the early stages, I think that actually quantity over quality. Now, of course, you'll hear other people with different perspectives, but I do know for a fact that YouTube wants you to stay on YouTube for as long as possible. Facebook is the same way. Instagram, TikTok is the same way. So instead of worrying about how can I do the best 2-hour long interview, or even if you go into it saying I'm going to do a really great long form interview, when you release it, I call it doing like the DJ Vlad approach, where you will put out small snippets of it. That way you can feed the algorithm, because what a lot of people think is, hey, I got this great piece of content, I'm going to upload it, all of these people are going to see it and love it, and I'm going to go viral because I know what kind of work I put into it, not understanding that it's not a human that sees your video. So it's actually artificial intelligence. When we say the algorithm, when we say the robots or whatever, right? But the artificial intelligence is scanning your thumbnail, scanning your title, scanning the first few seconds of your video, and then going frame by frame if you want to get super technical in it, all right? And it wants to make sure that they find the right people to show your video to. So if you only give them one piece of content a week, a month, or however often, then that's only one at bat, all right? So my first year on YouTube, my goal was to upload 365 videos so I could have one video a year. I only did like 280. So your first year on YouTube, how many videos you uploaded?
First year, whoa, like 100 and something?
Yeah. So it's like I gave them like 180 other pieces of content to like try to figure out like what it is that they want to see from me. So I think that the volume of content, also how often do you look at your analytics? So it's one thing, and I'm guilty of it too. So there's certain content, I already know it's not going to go crazy on the channel, but because I want to teach people about business, there's certain things about business that are boring, but it makes you a ton of money. Like understanding how do you create an email marketing campaign is not exciting for anybody to include the person that's doing it, but it's necessary. So having that video, it's not going to go viral. In most cases, it won't, right? Maybe somebody out there will make one that's crazy entertaining, but usually that kind of stuff is not exciting, but it's necessary. But understanding that I need to look at what the algorithm is telling me, because what the algorithm is telling me is what people are telling me. So I want to have a great thumbnail, a great title. I want to get into the message. I want to capture their attention. Then I want to re-engage them throughout the video and try to keep them excited the entire video. All right, so how I do my intros is, what's up, busters? Your boy JT Adams back in another video. Hey, you guys, I'm here with Michael Finkley, and what we're going to talk about in this video is how to create a successful YouTube channel. All of that and more right in the intro. Well, while I'm saying that, the intro is playing, so they don't even see you. Because at the end of the day, I like my intro, but I know some other people are like, if you've seen 20 videos and saw my intro 20 times, it's not that important anymore. So I still want to have it, or maybe I don't even include it in every video, but having that energy is going to catch your attention. And just like how you smile when I said it, like it works like that in person. It also works like that via the phone, via the camera, via whatever you're using. So I can transfer energy to you without, I didn't even have to touch you, right? It's just the energy that I brought to the conversation instantly made you feel away. But if I would have did the same thing and said, what's up, everybody? It's JT Adams. Back again with another video. I'm here with Mike. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same information, but it's like, bro, next. Like, you know what I mean? Next. So I think that going into it with having that energy, maintaining that energy, and then even beyond that, having a subject matter that the people care about, not because you think they care about it, but because your analytics said, when I had this person on and talked about this, they cared about it. So let's go deeper with that. So I think that you have a great show, just a lot more content, and then just making sure that, okay, when I'm structuring this conversation, it's based off of what the people have already told me they wanted to know. All right, so just doing those things consistently, man, you're gonna be great.
Oh, you mentioned thumbnail, you mentioned titles.
Yep.
They're important. What does a concrete thumbnail or title look like?
So understanding that this all impacts your CTR, right? Your CTR is your click-through rate. So a good thumbnail, usually, let's keep it simple. You have brand colors, whatever your colors want to be. Typically, people say the brighter, the better. All right, so you create a dope thumbnail, understanding that people read from left to right. All right, and also when you upload a YouTube video, as you looking at the thumbnail, the bottom right is going to be the time of the video. So you don't want to put anything important there because the length of the video is going to cover it up anyway. So either if you're going to put an image on it, right, then you could pick either side. Sometimes you'll put it in the middle for dramatic feel, but to be simplistic, I would say that if you want to put words, you want to put as few words as possible, all right, and put them on the left-hand side, understanding people read from left to right, and then just have a big bold image and have that image reflect whatever the subject matter is. So for example, if I'm going to say here's how to make $100 in an hour trading stock options, I want you to have an image of something related to stock options, or an image of the person that's an expert that's going to be teaching you stock options in that video. So I think the simpler the thumbnail, the better, because you got to understand that the goal of the thumbnail and the title is to stop the thumb, because most people are going to consume your content on a mobile device. So even though we edit it on big monitors, they're going to see it's going to be like this big. Yep. So how, as I'm scrolling with my thumb, what about your thumbnail is going to stop me and say, okay, I want to see that. So having big images, have as few words as possible so it's easy to read on a mobile device, and just having bright colors, I think will keep it super simple. All right. And my goal is I want to do a title and thumbnail that's like punching you in the face. All right, so that's my goal. Some people say, oh, that's clickbait, that's wrong, right? But to be honest with you, you have to give the people the reason to click. All right, and it's only clickbait if you don't deliver on the subject matter. Yep. So having a title that's super captivating, that's going to get them like, hey, here's how to make, like there's the one video that I'm working on that my buddy made $120 in an hour. All right, so of course that's going to be big bold letters, how to make $120 in an hour. Yep. All right. Have a picture of him, have the words there, bright colors, draw their attention, and get them people there as fast as possible.
That would draw a lot of people in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I want to learn how to make $120 an hour.
Yeah. And I would say, too, in titles, if you can, all right, and you can't always do this, but if you can, try to keep them under 30 characters. Because what you have to understand, if I do a big, long title on a mobile device, it's going to get cut off anyway. So if I could give a short, to the point, 30 characters or less, and you could test this by when you do a video, you can just pull out your phone and look at it on the phone. Can you see the thumbnail? Are the important parts big enough for you to see it on your phone? Can you read the majority of the title, if not the entire title, straight off your mobile device? And actually having multiple titles and multiple thumbnails as well, because maybe for you a thumbnail is something that's like, okay, this is the greatest thumbnail ever, right? I did it with my homeboy Corey before. I said, hey, Corey, I'm thinking about doing this thumbnail or that thumbnail. I really thought this one on the right was fire. This one on the left was aight. Corey was like, the one on the right is trash. Like, so I uploaded the one on the left, and it's like right now, as of this week, it's my third most watched video. Wow. Right? So really being able to take constructive criticism. Yep. If you know other content creators, exercise that Mr. B shares, and he's like the best at doing YouTube content, is getting into a chat group. All right, so that's something that I'm personally putting together. You can get into that too if you want to, where we can start sharing thumbnails and titles in a group chat and just getting people's honest opinion. Is just being teachable, right? I think being coachable and understanding like, okay, we're going to go ahead and set the foundation. It's all love between everybody in this group chat. But when you comment here, like, we only want to know what's bad about it. We already know what's good, but hey, boom, I don't like this, or oh, this was too long, this was boring. Of course, your data will tell you that as well, but having a human being able to tell you that, hey, listen, your video was 20 minutes long, but after the first 8 minutes, it got dry, it got boring, the audio wasn't good, the visuals wasn't good, whatever it is. So I just didn't watch it, right? So then you could say, okay, well, that's really good. I can keep people on this video for 8 minutes. That's incredible. But if I want to do longer content, how can I re-engage them at around this point? All right, so maybe I introduce another subject matter, right? So maybe we're doing a video, like one video that we're working on now is crypto miners. So we're going to talk about is crypto dead? All right, but I'm going to set up crypto miners and say the only money I can spend this day is whatever I make mining crypto. All right, but in that video, it might be another subject matter where we're saying, okay, what else can we do in this video to keep people motivated? All right, so just hooking up crypto miners, seeing them run, see how much money they make, it's kind of boring. All right, but if we say, okay, well, until we get to $10 on this crypto miner, all right, I'm gonna go do something outrageous, right? Just something to re-engage the audience and get people tapping back in, all right, and trying different stuff. Right, so I do interviews, I do talking heads, I do real exciting videos, I do some videos where I'm just sitting at the table just giving game. So just doing a combination of things to see, you know, what people like and what keep people locked in.
Test the waters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Waters. Okay, cool.
Yep.
With all that you've done and with all that you will do in the future, what are you still learning about yourself?
All right, I can always get better. Right, I can always get better, and how important a team is. So for the most part, one man show, right? So I know how to set up the lights, the mics. I know how to edit. I know how to create the title, the thumbnails, whole 9 yards, the descriptions. I know how to pitch companies on getting the brand deals, and I do it all, right? But just because you can do it all doesn't mean that you should do it all. So now I want to get into the space where I hire an editor, because believe it or not, if you edit and do 10 other things, you feel like you're the greatest editor, but if all I had to do was edit all day, I'll be a way better editor than you, right? So really getting out of your own head and understanding that, of course, they're not going to care about it as much as you, nor do they have to, all right? Their incentive is the money that you pay them. So you go to onlinejobs.ph, you find somebody in the Philippines that $500 a month is great money for them, and somebody in the States might say that I'm going to need that for 2 weeks, right? Or 1 week, depending on the person, all right? So just being creative and finding people and building out a team, because then you can scale exponentially, all right? Having somebody that's in charge of doing the cameras, the sounds, all of that, right? And thinking about your business from the end and reverse engineering it back. Okay. So whatever your ultimate vision is, all right? So if you want to be big as, I don't know what's the biggest male talk show ever. I'm going to say Oprah, no disrespect, but I love Oprah too. So like, even though that's not a male talk show, I don't know who the biggest one is.
Phil Donahue.
Okay, Phil Donahue. Shout out to you. I'm sorry I didn't know that. Right? But if you say, okay, I want to be the next Phil Donahue, and what that would look like, and then reverse engineer from what he does now to where you are now, and now you know, okay, my path might not be exactly like his, but I want it to be something similar, right? Me personally, I think that I could be a version of the Tyler Perry of social media. All right, not saying that I'm anywhere as cold as Madea or anything like that, and I'm in a different realm as well, but right now, I invested in a media house. We're writing films and shows for Facebook and continuing to do stuff for YouTube and always writing books and going to network with publishing companies. And I go to California next month to network with people about a venture. And then maybe I go to China to go meet at Alibaba headquarters. They invited me out. So constantly really thinking about, okay, I want to be a media company. All right, because if you look at yourself as a YouTuber, do YouTubers make a lot of money? Yes. But does media companies on average make more money than them? Yeah. And it's not always about the money. And for me, I don't even have a financial goal. All right. I thought it was real dope. I saw Tyler Perry posted one time on the social media that he did a party for all of the people that work at Tyler Perry Studios. And in the caption, he said he spent $100 million a year in payroll. I was like, man, that's so dope that he was able to do that. I can't wait till I can spend $2 million or half of that in payroll. Some other people will probably be like, man, you're insane. Like, you need to fire them people. Like, get you some chitlin circuit people for way less. But like, it just, my mindset is I was inspired by that and said, you know what? In the area that I'm located on, there ain't really no studios, and the warehouses are overpriced. Even if I got a warehouse, I would set it up like a house, because the kind of content that I'm going to record is like calling for a house section. We looked at houses, we was able to find a house that was inexpensive. So, hey, now we got a media house, and we want to do media, books, podcasts, films, social media content, the whole 9 yards. But reverse engineering it'll keep you motivated when times get rough, right? Because a lot of people say, well, I don't know what to record. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know who to get to do this or do that. But if I know that this is the goal, okay, maybe in this moment I'm stuck, but I can look at what I'm trying to become and say, okay, what have they done or what are they already doing, and how can I walk it back to where I am?
Yep. Love it. What does 2023 have in store for you?
All right, in 2023, my biggest goal is if I don't cross over, and you should be down with it, right? Okay, great. Now I'm telling you what you agreed to. All right, if I don't reach 500,000 subscribers, I'm going to go swim with the sharks.
All right, y'all heard it, Fink fam.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah. So 500,000 subscribers. The bigger goal is I want to impact 10 million people a month in a positive way. So we're expanding into entertainment and short films. Whatever short films or entertainment content that I produce is still going to always have an entrepreneurial undertone. The mission statement of my media company is, if you keep God first, you can do anything, right? And we create content that motivates, educates, and inspires you to do something entrepreneurial. So 2023, if we don't get at least 500,000 subscribers on YouTube alone, we go swim with the sharks in December when it's cold.
Can you swim?
We'll find out. So can you swim? That's the biggest. Well, you better. Hey, y'all better subscribe.
Please subscribe. Please subscribe. And how can the Fink fam follow you?
On Instagram, I'm JT Hustlez. That's JTHUSTLEZ. We have a little over 120,000 subscribers there. On YouTube, I'm JT Automations. That's JTAUTOMATIONS. All right, on YouTube, we got a little over 280,000 subscribers on there. So we're almost halfway there. If not, y'all gonna see if he can swim or not.
Oh my gosh. So I just asked him what his name was on social media. I didn't tell him how many subscribers and followers.
Yeah, it's a lot of fake pages though. I wanted you to make sure you ain't following a fake page.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us.
Anytime.
We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
All right.